Yo, what's going down, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston here, aka the King of Boston, and today back with episode 18 of the Around the League series. And today I'm using the Sacramento Kings. I'm going up against a random opponent who's using the Indiana Pacers. I'm winning the, as my friend Brent likes to call them, the 7/10 uniforms, like 7/10 black or 7/10 purple and like 3/10 black uniforms or whatever. And it's kind of confusing because this guy also decided to wear his navy blue uniforms too. So kind of two dark colors, two dark bluish purple type colors, black, so it's a little bit confusing, but anyway, let's get into this gameplay. Let's get into what I want to talk about, which is the Sacramento Kings. So anyway, Sacramento Kings, a team with, in my opinion, that has a lot of talent, and they had more talent before the trade deadline, I'll say that much, which I'll get into in a sec. But they have a lot of talent, they just kind of struggle to put it together. I don't think Keith Smart is a very good coach. They're moving to Seattle next year, in which a lot of people think that they're going to become the Seattle Supersonics, but I'm pretty sure they don't own the rights to the Supersonics name. Actually, I think they're going to be the Seattle Kings. And also, the move isn't finalized yet. There's still some things they're trying to go through to get it finalized, but either way, let's get into this team. So, I'll start out, their best player, DeMarcus Cousins, one of the best centers in the NBA, probably easily a top 5 center, maybe the second best in my opinion. I still think Dwight Howard's the best center in the NBA, but I put Cousins up there, maybe second or third. Although Noah and Tyson Chandler and a lot of those guys are really having great years, so that's debatable. I'm certainly putting him top 5 though. In my opinion, there's no doubt about that. As to where he falls in that top 5, that's up to debate. I don't know where I'd put him, quite frankly. But very good offensively, solid defensively, 6'11", 270, very good size. Can play power forward or center. Very versatile player. Only his 3rd season, so very young. I think he's only he's 23 years old. 22, turning 23 in August. So he's 22 years old, very young. A world of potential. This guy could be, the next great center in the NBA. He could be the next Shaq or something. I don't know. He reminds me a little bit of Shaq, just kind of with the size and strength. But anyway, although Shaq was 3 inches taller. But anyway. Another good player is Tyreke Evans. Now, Tyreke Evans is an interesting character who I think they should have traded. It's clear that Tyreke Evans has peaked. He peaked in his rookie season, and he hasn't progressed since then. He hasn't developed a jump shot. He hasn't learned how to play defense really in the NBA. He can get some steals, get a chase down block once in a while, but he's not a great perimeter defender. He's not a great on-ball defender. That's something he should really learn with his athleticism and his wingspan. He's a crazy wingspan. He's very versatile. He came out as a point guard who's 6'6". The Kings have kind of transitioned him into a shooting guard, which I think is silly. They should have kept him at a point guard. Having a 6'6" point guard is a huge size mismatch. And I think that would have been, I think it would have been way smarter if the Kings had kept him as a point guard. But I think they should have traded Tyreke Evans. I think his stats have progressively gone down every year, and it stinks because the guy's got a lot of talent. If he could develop a jumper, there's still hope for him. He's still young. He's only 23 years old, so there's still certainly some hope for him. But I'm curious to see how his development. I think the next 2 to 3 years of his career is really going to tell whether or not he takes the next step into being an NBA superstar, like we all thought he was going to be after winning Rookie of the Year in 2009, I believe, or if he's going to kind of regress into maybe a solid starter. And, towards the end of his career, will fall down to a role player more than likely. But anyway, a couple other good players on this team. I'll mention Patrick Patterson too. I'll get into the trade, my opinions on the Thomas Robinson trade. I think the Thomas Robinson trade was silly. Thomas Robinson was a guy that's per 36-minute averages were, I think, 11 and 11. He just wasn't getting playing time. He was only playing 14 minutes a game, averaged 4 and 4. Didn't shoot a great percentage, but he's a rookie. You can't give up on a rookie 50 games into the season after you draft him number 5 overall with a world of potential. He led the NCAA in double-doubles last year. I don't know what the Kings thought in trading for Patrick Patterson, a guy who's, in my opinion, I don't see him becoming anything more than he is at this point. He's got a good jump shot, but it's clear that he does not have a good post game. He's not good defensively. He's athletic, but he's only 6'9". He's undersized. He's young. He was in the same draft class as DeMarcus Cousins. He was on the same Kentucky team as DeMarcus Cousins. But I don't see it. I don't see the potential in Patrick Patterson anymore. I think he also is not a good rebounder. Thomas Robinson is a great rebounder. He fits DeMarcus Cousins perfectly. I guess Patterson can spread the floor a little bit and open up some more shots for Cousins, but I think Thomas Robinson can also stretch the floor a little bit. He's a good mid-range jump shooter. Hit a couple threes in college. It's not like he's exactly Andres Beardrich or something from mid. So I don't know. It was a stupid trade in my opinion, but I don't have too much time to talk about it. Isaiah Thomas and Aaron Brooks, 2 solid point guards. I think Isaiah Thomas is really good. I really liked him in college. I was a big fan of him, even though he's pretty short. And I can see why he was taken in the 2nd round last overall. But I really like him. I think he's a good player. I think Aaron Brooks is pretty scrubby. I always thought he was a huge scrub. ever since he came out of Oregon. He was good at Oregon, but he just never really progressed once he got into the NBA. He has terrible shot selection. He's not really a good passer. He kind of has an attitude. I don't really like him. I'm surprised that the Kings signed him in the first place when they have such a stacked, and not stacked as in good, but stacked as in they have so many guards on this team. Jimmer Fredette is a guy that they need to start playing more. They should honestly, waive Aaron Brooks if they can, and then give Jimmer Fredette more playing time. He's getting 7 points per game in 14 minutes. That means his per 36-minute averages are on pace with OJ Mayo's, who we consider to be having a breakout year this year. They need to give Jimmer Fredette way more playing time. He really is starting to progress. He's kind of learning to create his own shot. He's not worrying about becoming such a point guard anymore, even though he is undersized if he wanted to play the 2. But you know what? He's just worrying about putting the ball in the hoop, which is what he does best. Marcus Thornton is another really good shooting guard on this team. Very good shooter out of LSU, former New Orleans Hornet. I really like Marcus Thornton. He fits that 6-man role very well for that team, and I like him in that role. I think he's good. Jason Thompson is the guy that the Kings locked up. This is probably the reason why they traded Thomas Robinson, is because they're so high on Jason Thompson. I'm high on Jason Thompson too. He's a little bit old, but he's only in his 5th year in the NBA. He's a great rebounder, 6'11", great size for the power forward position. They locked him into the 5-year, $30 million deal, which means that even if he progresses to be, a very good power forward in the NBA, he's still going to be locked up on a cheap deal, which is good because I think the Kings have high hope for this kid, and I do too. I think he can be a double-double machine. As for some other guys, John Selman's old guy with a bad contract, same with Travis Outlaw, same with Francisco Garcia. Although, no, they got rid of Garcia in the Houston Rockets trade. That's good. James Johnson, good defensive player. Chuck Hayes, great rebounder, undersized. Tony Douglas, nice young player. Maybe they can develop him to something. Cole Aldridge, bust. But anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. So I thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. I think the Kings are probably going to be, they're not going to make the playoffs this year. They have some hope. They have some talent. Maybe they can find some new life in Seattle. But anyway, that's really what I think of them. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. So I'm out. Peace.